Smarty pants. That's true. You could do that.
Yeah.
You could be like, I'm 87, and they're like, well,
Yeah.
I can't deny this guy. And then you get social security.
They accept it, you know.
Yeah. So how you been?
Good. Been watching some movies.
Oh yeah, what kind of movies?
Well, I've rewatched Tombstone again. It's just such a good movie.
Yeah, definitely one of the best Western movies. I'm telling you, you got to watch 310 to Yuma. If you like Tombstone, you'll like that.
Yeah, I probably will. I like westerns.
And it's got Batman in it. Come on.
Well, this Tombstone had Batman in it too.
Oh my gosh, yes it does. I didn't even think about that. That's so crazy. I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah, there's been a good amount of Batmans.
What would you give Tombstone, like, rating-wise?
Oh, I would so give it like a 8.5.
Yeah, okay. It's good.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, if freaking Holiday's not in the movie, it's not very good. I mean, because he's just my favorite character.
Yeah. He's quick-witted, and he's like a bad guy, but if a bad guy turned into a good guy, I don't know.
It's kind of like an anti-hero. Like, he doesn't want to be the hero, but, like, you know.
Yeah.
Do what he's got to do.
He just does it for a friend, you know.
So let's talk about SummerSlam. What did you think?
Oh my God. Such a disappointment.
What?
SummerSlam, it was such a disappointment. Everyone thought good things of it. You had The Rock returns, Randy Orton returns, Roman. It was so bad.
Well, did I not call that main event, though? Jimmy Uso coming out and doing that?
Yeah, you give your pat on the back or whatever, but
I knew it was coming.
Such a bad show. I'm really mad.
You know, they would have swerved me if Jimmy had shown up sooner, like on SmackDown last week or something like that. But they literally waited till the pay-per-view for him to come back, and right then and there, I knew he was going to turn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's freaking SummerSlam. Something big's going to happen, so.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things like Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, one of those things, you know.
Yeah, they're going to do a singles match for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, they might do it inside Hell in a Cell or something.
Yeah, and get a Hell in a Cell match in there.
And speaking of which, Brock and Cody, like, the match was good. I just felt like it should have been a stipulated match. Like, it should have had something. It was the grudge match, you know?
I like the match. Yeah, I know what you mean. Matches wasn't bad. Many people didn't like Gunther versus Drew, very surprisingly. I thought that was a great match.
Yeah, I actually liked that match. And I was surprised that Drew didn't win. I just felt like if anyone was going to win that belt off of him, it might be Drew. So I thought he had a decent chance of winning. But I'm kind of glad Gunther won. And he's only a month away from beating, like, the all-time record, so.
Yeah, honky tonk man.
That record needs to go.
That's what they're trying to do, I bet. They don't want an Elvis impersonator.
No, to be the longest reigning champion, nah.
Yeah, and then he loses in like 5 seconds to Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely the match of the night. And the women's matches, though, I skipped through the triple threat women's match. I saw Bianca won, but the match was just boring. So,
yeah, with that match, I was watching it, and you were in, like, the first match. And Bianca was, what is it called? She had great acting skills because she, like, jumped off or whatever out of the ring, and it looked like she really hurt her leg. Like, she screamed out. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, see, I skipped through it, and I didn't even see that spot. But Alex, then Io comes out at the end, and she wins the freaking championship. I was like, that's freaking great.
Yeah, and I thought it was perfect. I think Bianca winning and having this great moment, and then Io, that was pretty cool. I just thought
Io's just so
Bianca didn't
funny.
get that win.
I like when Bianca was on the ground and Io just like taking advantage, so she like steps over her, like just steps on her though, and then goes
Yeah,
up and does her backflip.
yeah,
Yeah, it was good. I like
yeah.
that.
Io is a good wrestler. Should be a good champ for the women's
It's just Alex.
wrestling.
It's really hard for the fans to get behind any of these women when the stories are so bad, and then the wrestling in the ring is really bad. Like they get behind Rhea, I think, because Rhea's actually like she looks
Yeah,
legit, and she's actually pretty good in the ring. Like she
yeah.
had match of the
She
freaking
looks like
year
a
for the
man.
women with that Charlotte match. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. She's China 2.0.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what they say.
I would say she's better than China in
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
ways, though. I heard China was like really dangerous in the
Yeah,
ring.
I like. Yeah, Chris Jericho is not a fan. I heard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but that's like with almost every like type of sport or entertainment. Like the women's wrestling, or let's say soccer, for instance. I'm not a soccer fan, but like or WNBA, that just they get less viewers because it's just a different. Like they should do something different than just regular what men do or wrestling. I'm not saying change up the whole entire game. I'm just changing some aspect of the sport because in like the WNBA, it's just different. They don't dunk, they don't do all this.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, if you look at a women's sport, it's kind of hard to get like a lot of people behind it because generally you would think most of the audience would be
Hmm.
women watching women's sports. But the problem is, there's a lot of women who
Hmm.
don't like sports, and there's a lot of guys who ain't gonna watch women's
Hmm.
sports because, like you said, it's not on the same level.
Yeah, and like even with this Women's World Cup, whatever's
Oh, I'm
happening, I
glad
keep
they
on seeing
lost.
ads for it. I saw. I don't know what's going on in it, but there's 500 million people watching that, and
Uh,
that's great and all. But then with the Men's World Cup or World Cup, there's 5 billion people watching that.
yeah, it's nuts.
That it's just, and then
No,
they
but
talk
the
about whatever.
the
And
freaking women's World Cup thing, they wouldn't stand for the
yeah,
national anthem again. They're like
hmm,
pulling that political stuff, where they're like
yeah,
not wanting to do it and whatnot. Like, I
yeah,
don't know. Like, someone made a good point. I forget who it was, but they were like, you see all these other countries and we're playing against them, and they're like standing for their anthems and they're like celebrating their country, and we're the only country that doesn't do that. It's like really pathetic.
yeah, yeah. It's like we're not patriotic like we should be.
No, it makes us look really weak too, because every other country is probably like, oh well, they're gonna fold.
Yeah. And that one lady, I don't even know her name, but she's like the face of the
Yeah,
soccer,
yeah.
women's soccer.
Yeah, I know
She's,
who you're talking about. I don't
she's
know her
like
name either.
retiring or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good. I thought you retired a long time ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sick of like politics being involved in everything. I wish they would just stop.
Yeah. I
Everyone
think we
feels
should
like they
just
gotta do
have a
something.
good, yeah, I think everyone just should we're in such a lucky position in America because we have just so much freedom. We have so much this, we have so much that. Everyone just likes to look at the bad things, but we have so much good things in America.
But I think, especially like
It's
the
not a
younger
third world
generation,
country.
they don't look at it that way. They're born
Hmm.
into like all this technology and all this
Yeah.
like really nice stuff that like, you had a little bit of it, but now it's like outrageous. Like kids are
Mhm.
getting phones at really young ages and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
just feel like they don't realize what they have, and that's a really big problem.
Mhm. Yeah, because once they get the good things right away, then it just looks like another thing, a cup it looks like.
Well, yeah, and then the things around them don't look as like nice. Like if some kid's got a freaking tablet, like what's the chances he's gonna go and like
Hmm.
play outside or like grab a freaking book and like start sketching or something? There's so many things like I feel like kids don't do now because of technology and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know. It just kind of sucks, but it is
Yeah,
what it is.
and then they look on social media and they see so much fake crap
Yeah, yeah.
that's
Man, I saw a thing the other day,
like I
Alex,
want that life.
and it's so crazy to me because it was
Yeah.
basically saying like our television screens were basically like programming our
Mhm.
minds, and that's why they call it television programs. You get it? So it's like it basically like as you're getting like raised, you know, and your parents aren't like really watching you, they're putting you in front of the TV, like you're literally being trained. And people say it all the time, like, oh, you know, just because I play games
Yeah.
with guns or something, like, it doesn't make me want to go out and shoot guns or whatever. But I kind of beg the differ. I think, like, when you see
Yeah.
so much of that kind of stuff, at some point, maybe you do decide, you know what, I want to go out and shoot guns or whatever, you know? Like, I feel like it does influence us a lot, and I don't think
Mhm.
people want to admit that.
God dang Dora the Explorer. Now I want to explore the jungle.
But I mean, you get what I'm saying.
No, but I
Like,
know
I
what
wouldn't
you
even buy
mean.
wrestling shirts, like, if I didn't watch
Influence.
wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's just basic knowledge.
well,
but
you
yeah.
get what I'm saying. I'm just saying the influence that television has is
Yeah.
crazy, and for us to think that kids aren't being influenced by it, I just hate that argument.
Yeah.
It's not true at all.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that people think that it's just another thing that kids won't latch onto.
Yeah. I don't know how we got on this, but
Yeah.
let's talk about Collision. Did you see Collision?
No, I have not.
Really? CM Punk defended
I'm
the
bad at
world
this.
title.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, I know you're not a Ricky
surprised about
Starks fan.
Oh my god, yeah, I know.
Although
I know he's been in this rivalry with.
I think it was just a quick way for Punk to have a title match with somebody who, you know what I mean, like a stepping stone to get to Samoa Joe, because I think that's what they're planning for Wembley Stadium.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed with AEW lately.
Why is that?
Well, their main event or their big rivalry is either based off of a match that has just nostalgia, which will be a good match between Punk versus Joe. But then they also have MJF versus Adam Cole, which has been just a comedy skit that I feel like doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just like, even with WWE, like WWE knows how to build a story.
Yeah.
They're
I think
not doing that. They're just looking on the aspect of wrestling.
I think that's AEW's biggest problem is their story's just not very good. I feel like their in-ring work destroys WWE,
Yeah.
but their storylines are just not very good or consistent.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's getting me really annoyed because I'm like, I don't even want to watch this anymore because I love the story of wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I were to ask you, like, what do you think the best story going on in AEW is? Like, what would you say?
Probably Punk and Joe or whatever. But
Right.
I don't know. That's not even supposed to be the best one. It's supposed to be MJF and whatever he's doing, you know?
And yeah. Well, I think, listen, like, I think the biggest problem is that MJF and Adam Cole, like, ever since they teamed up, I heard, like, their merchandise sales went through the roof, and that's probably why they've been keeping MJF in
Yeah.
that kind of situation. And I feel like it's just not good, though. If they go into that match and MJF's a good guy and Adam Cole's a good guy, like, maybe MJF turns at the pay-per-view, but I think they should do it sooner and just get this rivalry, like,
Yeah.
big, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are they going to do that's going to be great for the pay-per-view? Like, this pay-per-view is supposed to be like their WrestleMania, you know? And it looks like it's going to be freaking Payback in, like, 2018. Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah. They need to build that match better, and you can't have face versus face. Like, I just don't think it's going to be as good.
Yeah.
There's going to be
I think it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, it'll be a good match. They already proved that with their first match. It was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the thing with AEW. It's like one week they have like crappy shows, and then next week they'll have like a decent show, but like one really good match, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then WWE, it's like a bunch of crappy matches, but then like the storyline stuff you kind of want to keep up with, you know?
Well, I think the main problem is just they keep on doing the same crap like that, and they're not consistent, so they're not beating WWE.
Yeah, and I mean, again, they use people, and then they get Alex. I haven't seen Powerhouse Hobbs wrestle in a while. Like they do cameos and stuff. I haven't seen Wardlow in
Mm-hmm.
freaking weeks. Like there's so many people.
Yeah.
Like where the hell are they? Lance Archer. I like
Lost in
freaking
the
Archer.
shuffle.
He's not around. What?
No, just being lost in the shuffle in AEW.
Yeah, it's like if they're injured or something, like explain that or like do an angle so that we know that. But don't like give us Jack Perry over Wardlow or something. Like that makes no sense.
Or even Orange Cassidy over Wardlow.
Orange Cassidy is one of those rare things where it's like he's selling so much merch that I guess Tony Khan feels like it's necessary to put him on TV. But I just feel like in the role he's in, it's stupid. He's been champion for like months, Alex.
Yeah.
And he's undefeated. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Danhausen's better.
Oh, man, where he's at. You know what I mean? Like, he's another person who's just, like, nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also because of just their contracts, too. They could be in other companies if they wanted to.
I think Tony Khan needs to get rid of that. He needs to be like, listen, if you're with AEW, you stick with AEW. Maybe New Japan every once in a while, but that's it.
Yeah. But that's the hard thing, because it's like then they're just trying to be like WWE.
Yeah, but
their whole notion
if
is
it's going to be like
WWE's
inconsistent, like you're not going to see the same people on TV because of that, then I mean, that's a big problem in itself. Like, they got to do something.
Yeah, and no, I agree. I just think they put themselves in such a bad position because they're trying to be WWE 2.0, but they can't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is what it is. Wrestling just isn't the same, and I feel like AEW tries sometimes, especially with like the hardcore stuff, and it just doesn't have the attitude behind it. And like you said, the story. I feel like in the Attitude Era, I think people like to think, well, now wrestling's so much better and stuff because it has this, that, and the other. But the one thing Attitude Era had over every other era was the stories, man. Even if the stories were cheesy or stupid, even the mid card guys had freaking storylines.
A lot.
But yeah, I mean, it was just crazy stuff was going on, and you always just wanted to know what was going to happen next because it was just that over the top. Where now it's just like, it seems like the same format every week. I'm watching the same thing.
Yeah, and I think Vince Russo said it best. They changed the game of wrestling. It's no longer about the story in the match. It's now about the fake match itself.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the Logan Paul Ricochet thing, there's moments in that match where I'm like, holy crap, that was pretty cool. But then as it keeps going on and on, I'm like, man, this becomes more of a spot fest, and it's just like, that wouldn't happen in a real fight. So for me, it like kind of takes me out of the match a little bit. I'm not saying the match sucked. I'm just saying it like takes me out of it.
Yeah. And I think Logan Paul did great and whatever. He did good for what he did, but I don't know. It's just one of those things, like, just be realistic a little bit and I did like the match itself. The
it was
story
okay.
behind it.
I like the ending more than anything because I like that Logan Paul actually cheated. I knew he was going to win because Ricochet's like a mid-card talent. But just using the freaking brass knucks. Yeah, I like the ending. And I'm not even a Logan Paul fan, but I mean, as a heel and writing a story or something, I mean, that works. And he already gets enough heat as it is. So, but it's like real heat. It's not like heat like, oh, we hate you. It's more like go away heat. Like, people really don't like him.
Yeah, and because he's not the best person, but he's a decent wrestler. I would give him that.
Yeah. Especially for somebody who's only done it for so long. I mean, he's only had so many matches, so.
I think 5 now.
Something
I don't know. It's crazy to me.
So speaking of which, before we jump around a little bit, I wanted to go back to asking you what you thought about Collision next week, because it's House of Black versus Punk and FTR. I think that's going to be pretty freaking cool. Oh, and it's for the trios titles.
I can already... Yeah, I think what's going to happen, House of Black wins.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Ricky or someone, Samoa Joe, maybe.
Joe.
Someone just screws. Yeah. That's what I think. I think someone's going to screw over Punk and FTR. And that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, and then that'll build for Joe and Punk, and then you can have FTR. Actually, you heard FTR and the Young Bucks are going to fight at Wembley Stadium.
Oh, nice.
So that should leave the
should be a
door
good
open
match.
for a possibility of Omega versus Punk, too. I mean, if FTR is willing to work with the Young Bucks, it's possible.
Well, they weren't on Punk's side fully, I would say, but they did have, I guess, more of Punk's.
Well, if you look at like
Relationship.
what they've been doing, they're strictly on Collision now, which makes me
Yeah.
think they're willing to work with Punk more so than they are willing to work with the Elite.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's going to be a good match next week, but it's just so hard to watch because I don't care about the match right now. Definitely if I've already seen what's happening with the Bloodline or whatever. It's just there has to be a reason towards the match, not just a random title match.
Yeah.
That's my problem with the match already.
It's sad because it's like Bloodline is the top story in wrestling currently, but I feel like it could be so much more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, even the Bloodline itself, I feel like I don't want to say I'm getting tired of it, but I am getting like tired of the same people kind of being in the same spot. It's the same guys in the main event spot. And I feel like that's why new people aren't really getting made, you know?
Yeah, and then they talk about the elders so much, but there's nothing to do with the elders. I think that's such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. They should have done something at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like every Anaui family or every person in the Anaui family was supposed to be there or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like you missed it.
Yeah, pretty stupid. They must have like a conflict, you know, like where they're trying to get some of these guys to show up at the pay-per-views or whatever, and they just can't, or maybe they're too old. Like, who the hell knows?
Well, Rikishi.
Yeah, he's one person. I'm
Rikishi was
sure
in
they
the.
could.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just such a missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird to me.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've been playing the AEW game. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it. But again, I feel like I'm just so stuck in the freaking 2K mindset. Every time I wrestle, like, I'm hitting the wrong buttons.
Yeah.
So I really got to keep playing it and try to get that habit.
And Fight Forever is fun. I just think that Fight Forever is just one of those things that, like, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of dying at this point. It's like a joke.
Well, I remember when I went to go buy the game. What?
Yeah. No, go ladies first.
So some of the people in the comments, like, before I bought the game, because I wanted to see, like, what people were saying, and it had, like, pretty positive reviews, but a lot of people were just saying there's not enough content. Like, it felt like it's an incomplete game or something.
Yeah, and Ukes and whoever's talking about it, they're like, we're going to try to make this continually improve it or whatever. And I'm like, okay, but, like, you have to do that sooner rather than later. You should have had a plan for this.
Yeah.
You had however many years, you know? And I understand I'm not a game developer, but I'm trying to compete with WWE. You're just looking like TNA because TNA posted their video game and it didn't do the best.
Well, this is a lot better than the TNA game because I remember playing the TNA game and I was like, man, this is trash.
Yeah.
I didn't like
this
it.
This game, at least you can actually fully play.
Yeah.
Understand, at least.
Yeah, I like the simple mechanics. I mean, even though I still have to kind of, like, learn all the buttons, I do like that it's very similar to, like, No Mercy. The grappling and all the stuff's very basic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's a little bit too much. Like I said, we're living in the 21st century over here. We should not be having to just keep on hitting the run button and it just go one way and you can't, like, turn or anything. It's like, what the crap?
I see what you mean. I was trying to do something like a dive, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. I was hitting all the buttons, too, like combinations, but I was, like, trying to do a running dive on somebody, and that was the one thing I just could not figure out.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to run and do all that crap.
Nah. I see. Yeah, I just kept
But
going up
I
to the
don't know.
top rope and doing dives.
Yeah, that's how you do it. And then if you're lucky enough, then you could also do, what is it called? You could hit the barrier, and then the barrier like falls down.
Oh, I did that.
Pretty
I
cool.
actually got, I forget who I was
Oh,
wrestling,
yeah.
maybe Mox, and I did a German suplex and it broke the barricade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah,
like
it's
little
really
cool
cool when you do
things.
that because
There's little small
well,
things I still haven't seen yet, but I feel like are going to be really cool. Because I didn't expect that at all, and I was like, holy crap.
yeah. And if you win, I think it's 20 championships with a person, you get a gold attire of them.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to play
Pretty cool.
the Road to the Elite and try that out.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It's just the same story, so you can't really replay it.
Right.
But
It's unfortunate.
it's fun.
That was one of the things that made No Mercy so great is it had that web where you could kind of like decide which like way you were going to go, you know? It like totally changed the whole like dynamic of the game.
Man, I'm thinking on doing like No Mercy. Like just playing No Mercy and play the story mode because that just seems so fun.
I remember Alex, it's so cool.
It's
Like
sad that
there's a part in
yeah.
the game where you
No,
walk
wait,
into a
Chris.
bar and the APA, Bradshaw and Farouk are there, and you
Uh-huh.
kind of get in like to
Yeah.
like an argument or something with them, and you actually have a bar brawl where you're inside the bar and you have to fight them and stuff. It's like a
Oh, that's
handicap.
cool.
It's like really freaking cool. It's hard, but it's like, man, that game just had everything.
Yeah, and it's so sad. Like a game that's made 20 years ago is still holding up.
Well, that's because I feel like now, like the new generation, like we were just talking about too. It's like everybody wants the game to look super realistic, almost like a movie. But I feel like it takes away from the actual gameplay itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as fun. I mean, it's cool
Yeah.
to watch, but I mean, Alex, there's so many games I see now where like you don't even really play the game; you just kind of like watching everything.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was how the Spider-Man game was pretty interesting.
I see.
But I don't know. I just think it's like Madden at a certain point where Madden kind of just trying to be too realistic, but it's no fun anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. Have they made a Madden game for like VR?
No. Oh, yes, they have. They have. It's not a Madden game though, but yeah, kind of like you play as the quarterback for any team, and you play I think 18 games or however long you go.
But interesting. Yeah, I feel like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things, like, VR isn't ready for that type of stuff yet, though.
Right, yeah, it's still, like, in its baby infant stage.
Yeah, and it's gonna be in there for a while.
Yeah, until, like, something revolutionizes the whole... It's kind of like when video games, like, you had Atari and, like, really crappy games came out after that, but it's like, you don't really know until, like, something like Mario comes out, and that changes, like, the whole dynamic.
Yeah, have you seen the Apple or VR thing?
No.
No, this thing, man, is like $1,500 or even probably more. And like you can do business, you could write notes, you can do all the stuff with it. It's crazy, but it's not like for games or anything. But it's supposed to revolutionize. But I'm like, who? Yeah, and it's like, who's gonna pay $1,500 for this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's more like an office assistant or something. It's not really like for entertainment.
Yeah, it's like the new computer, but I just don't think it's going to work very well.
Actually, it might replace offices if you think about it, because if you have a virtual reality office, why do you need a physical one?
Well, they kind of already did get rid of offices with just working from home, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I mean, though, too. At home, a lot of people build their own office. You won't even need to do that.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, because if it saves all your, like, stuff, it's almost like you have, like, a computer and everything right into your VR.
Yeah.
So it's no different.
That's crazy.
Like
man.
you said,
It's just-
notepad and all that stuff.
yeah.
Do conference calls, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's weird to me. I don't even want to think about that yet. But yeah, I don't know. This week has been weird.
Why? What's up? Wrestling?
No, it's just wrestling has been weird. I watched an interview the other day. I think it was Dave Meltzer,
Uh-huh.
and he gave New Japan 82 5-star matches.
Wow.
Guess how many WWE has?
12.
They actually have 9.
Oh, wow.
And guess how many Kurt Angle has?
1 billion.
I would so hope, but he has none, man.
What? Get out of here.
I know.
Kurt Angle,
I'm
Brock
not even
Lesnar,
kidding.
Kurt Angle, Benoit, Kurt Angle, Jericho. Like,
Nope.
no 5-star matches. Dave Meltzer sucks.
No 5-star matches. He's always gone 4.5, 4.9, all that very close, but not a 5-star match.
I'm telling you, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Royal Rumble. I don't know what year it was, maybe 2000 or something. Oh my God, that's a 5-star match.
Kurt Angle's had so many. Kurt Angle's so good. I will always say this to them in my life or whatever. He's the best wrestler of all time.
Wow. You know, and it sucks because when I see Chad Gable wrestle, I get Kurt Angle vibes, even sometimes with his promos. It's just he's got a freaking, he's just short, and I feel like it holds him back, but he definitely could have filled that
He's
void.
Shorty G, you remember that?
That ruined him. It was so awful.
He was always been kind of ruined.
Remember American Alpha? Wasn't that their tag team name? Him and Jason Jordan?
They were a good team.
They were a really good tag team.
Yeah, and then Jason Jordan got hurt or whatever.
Hurt his neck, I
Kurt
think.
Angle's son.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I heard
It's more like Chad
Stevenson
Gable
or
was.
Stevenson or whatever. He wrestled on NXT against Corbin.
Gable Stevenson.
Yeah. Did you see the match?
No, well, I think I did at least.
No, I didn't see any of it, but I wanted to know if he did good or not.
It looked like a basic match between Gable Stevenson. I don't know. He hasn't done much in NXT yet. I think he is out of college. I don't know.
Well, every time I see a report, it's like, oh, he's got to do this or he's got to do that, and it's like he's not ready yet. And then I was like, so surprised to see he was on NXT even wrestling.
Yeah. It's so weird to me that he's even on NXT. It's like you got drafted to Raw, if anyone remembers that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Like a while ago, yeah. It's
Like-
crazy.
Look at me with this knowledge.
Well, we got
I
football
don't
coming
know.
up.
It's been. Oh yeah. There's
Dolphins,
been
I
some
think,
interesting
their first preseason game, I think, is the 11th.
Yeah, we had the Jets versus Browns. Browns winning. I don't know. Decent game, actually.
What game is it that, like, starters, like, really, they play, like, a whole first quarter? Isn't it, like, second or third or something?
It's usually second, but, like, people with, like, Aaron Rodgers, maybe even Tua, they're not going to be put in.
Right. Maybe a snap or two, but nothing, like, long. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't expect anyone to play a full first half. Definitely because you pay your guys so much money nowadays, I just don't expect anyone.
Yeah. Who's our second string backup? The guy from the Jets?
I think, it's Mike White.
Mike White, okay. So that's probably who we're going to be watching.
And then, or Skylar Thompson, which I'm interested with him.
God, man, we always say it, but if he just would have had a good line and those guys would have caught some of those balls, he would have had actually a good end to the season. He almost won the freaking playoff game.
Yeah, he did screw us over for a moment with that interception. They got the Bills hyped up.
Yeah.
But, rookie mistake, it wasn't our year. I don't even want to play then because it probably wouldn't have been 100%.
But it's just crazy to think, like, we went up against the Bills, and I thought for sure we were going to get destroyed because I was like, man, there's just no way we don't have Tua. And then the fact that
Even
we
the
stayed
first
in that
half.
game, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I quit watching it and just started playing Madden. I was like, okay, our season's over by the first quarter.
Yeah.
And we started making some good moves. I'm like, okay, I'll start watching. And then they start getting sucked. They start sucking again. And then it's like, oh, then I won't watch.
Yeah. What did we lose by like 3 points or something? It wasn't a lot.
3 points. And I don't even know if the fourth down or whatever it was they crossed the line. Maybe they did. But they're still a little bit, you know.
No.
I don't know. They were doing the practice the other day, and Tua was just yelling at the team like, "Come on, guys," or whatever, just being a leader. And I'm like, "Oh, this is really good."
Yeah. I heard
that Vic Fan.
Big what?
Oh, God. Can I go?
No, I don't know. Just I heard freaking Tua, like, he's learning how to fall and stuff. You already told me a little bit about it, but I saw an interview where he was, like, talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But with Vic Fangio's our defense, I guess it's been confusing for our offense. And
oh, that's good.
That's really good because it's bringing a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's crazy. And then now we got Joe Burrow injured.
Really?
Yeah, he got injured in practice. He hurt like his calf or something. He might be doing fine now. I don't know. But they were expecting him to be out for a little while.
Wow, I didn't know that. It's a huge loss.
And then Jalen Ramsey's off of crutches now.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. There's been some interesting stuff. Yeah. Bless you.
Oh, thank you. No, bless you.
But. Oh, thank you.
Oh, man.
But, I don't know. It's just been interesting. Zach Wilson did pretty good in that Jets versus Browns for however long he was playing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was an interesting match. Or not match. It's wrestling and football.
So if you had to like pick like 2 teams you think might go to the Super Bowl this year, who you got?
Man, screw you, man. I had that question. You know, I was going to ask you that. You guessed pretty well last time, so.
What? Who I'd pick?
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you who you were going to pick for the Super Bowl.
Well, you pick yours and then I'll tell you who I think.
Just have to. So NFC, I think the Eagles are going back-to-back.
Really?
Yeah, I just like the team. I think they have a solid defense and great offense, you know.
Right.
If not, it's probably going to be 49ers. But I do not see Mahomes doing it.
No?
I see probably... I'm not going to put Dolphins. I'm not going to be biased here.
Well, you have to at least admit, if Tua stays healthy, there is a chance that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Man, you put me on the spot here. I was only thinking about you. I'm just going to do the safe pick, back-to-back for both AFC and NFC.
Really?
First time ever happens, and then Eagles win, and it's going to be a grudge match the year after.
Oh my god, that'd be pretty crazy.
That would. I
So
don't
wait,
know.
you're basically saying if it's a rematch,
I don't know.
Philly will win?
Yeah, I think Philly's going to be ready this time. That team scares me, man.
Yeah.
If not, I don't want to pick Kansas City, but I'm not going to put Bills over us. And Bengals are going to be out with Joe Burrow. I don't know how long, though.
I'm going to go with Dolphins and 49ers.
I don't know. Oh, nice. That would be a pretty good matchup with Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Eagles,
I like that.
I think Eagles could go again, but I think 49ers, they were pretty solid, and they didn't have like a complete team the whole season, so it should be good.
Yeah, and I think, and if it is Eagles too, then you have Tua versus Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And both Alabama guys.
That's true. It's true. That's a story of itself. I mean, that'd
Tua
be pretty
took
good.
the job.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, 49ers, do they still have that Deebo Samuel guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a freaking beast. I like him.
Yeah. Him, Christian McCaffrey, even Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
George Kittle.
Yeah.
A defense that is stacked. Like, they have such a good team. Nick Bosa.
Yeah, they definitely could go to the Super Bowl for sure. That's a lot of big names on there.
Yeah, but I just feel like Kyle Shanahan every time he goes to the playoffs, it just never goes out good.
Yeah. Sure, we'll see.
He always goes to the championship. This is their third time in 4 years they went to the NFC Championship and they lost. Well, I don't know, lost, but they lost this time.
Seriously. Man, even if Dolphins don't make it to the Super Bowl, I'd at least like us to see us get to like the championship game. That'd be really cool. Like the AFC Championship.
That would be a win in my book. And I just hope the Jets aren't the ones that we're facing.
Yeah. You know, more than anything last season, though, I was just so surprised that the Bills weren't as good as I thought they were. I thought they were going to be, like, undefeated, like, really good freaking team. Because, I mean, just the hype and stuff I've seen with the Bills.
Yeah.
But then it's like, man, they had a lot of weaknesses last year. And a lot of, like, late quarter slip-ups.
I see the underdogs, actually, between Detroit even making it to the Super Bowl. And I think that's just a really hot take there.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
They have a decent team. Like,
you know, another dark horse team, Alex, is the Chargers.
Oh, true. No, they're the Chargers. They always screw something up there.
No, yeah, they usually do. I agree with you. But they've got the star power on that team to do something.
Kirk Cousins with the Vikings, too.
Yeah, you know, Kirk Cousins is. I like Kirk Cousins. I don't know what it is. Like, I never see them going to the Super Bowl with him.
Well, they never have been to the Super Bowl, so.
The Vikings have never been.
Well,
to
they
the Super
haven't
Bowl?
won a Super Bowl.
Oh, they never won a Super Bowl. Okay. I was like, holy crap, that sucks. Because they're a pretty like prestigious team.
I'm pretty sure they have.
Yeah.
We also have Green Bay, which could be an interesting team.
Who do they have at quarterback?
Jordan Love.
Oh, okay. He's all right. I've seen a couple of his games last season.
Well, Rodgers was talking about him, and I don't know. And I think it could just be crap talking or whatever. But Rodgers was just saying that Jordan Love was like a future great when he was like behind him.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a pretty big statement coming from Rodgers. That's like Favre saying that to Rodgers.
Yeah, if Jordan Love becomes a good or a great quarterback, I swear to God, it will be like Brett Favre with Aaron Rodgers, and then it'll be like Aaron Rodgers with Jordan Love. It's
very consistent. They've always had like good quarterback position, you know.
Yeah. This is their first time, like they haven't had a quarterback battle since like the 90s, 80s. I don't even know how long.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then there's teams that like go through quarterbacks like every season.
Look at the Colts.
What happened to them? Ever since
Yeah,
Manning and then Luck left.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Sad.
been just down. But they got Anthony Richardson. Have you seen him?
No.
Oh, this guy is an absolute monster. He's like Lamar Jackson if Lamar Jackson took steroids.
Oh, he's a quarterback?
Yeah.
He's
he
a
can
rookie?
run freaking fast. Yeah, he's a rookie.
No, okay. Yeah, I have to watch out for him.
But he runs. He's like Josh Allen. He's going to be starting for the Colts.
Wow.
He can throw the ball far. The only thing I have problems with him is his completion rate, maybe, and how he passes accuracy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he has a good team. Like, the Colts are a good team.
Hey, they did it a lot better than I think people thought they were going to do last year because they stayed in a lot of those games.
Yeah. Well, and they did that, and then they had the biggest comeback of all time with Vikings.
Oh, yeah. Man, I don't know why, but
it's just one of those things.
Every time I think of a game like when I was like a kid and stuff, the game that always comes back to me is the Bucks and the Colts on Monday Night Football.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? The big comeback?
No.
Alex, it was Tom
idea.
Brady versus Peyton Manning, and freaking Tom Brady and the Bucks were, or not the Bucks, the freaking Patriots.
Or Patriots.
Yeah. So they get they're like destroying the whole freaking game, and then it's like the fourth quarter, and Peyton Manning comes back and brings the Colts back and wins the game. It was freaking nuts, man.
Yeah.
I remember my friend was like the biggest
fan,
and he couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I know who you're talking. I know what game you're talking about now. It's like the Bucks.
Yeah. It's freaking Colts and Patriots. That's what it was.
It's so weird. People think of Brady as a Buck now.
Yeah. That's why I said it, because it's like habit now. I'm always thinking of him as the Bucks quarterback. Who's the Bucks quarterback now?
He's a part of the retired.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh no.
Baker Mayfield or newer rookie Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask, what?
But yeah, that's basically what he's going to be. I have no hope for him.
Oh god. Baker Mayfield, we've already talked about, but he just holds on to the ball way too damn long. He's always trying to make plays out of nothing, and it just doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not even the best. Like, if he doesn't have a freaking like offensive line that's even decent.
Yeah. Honestly, he reminds me of Colin Kaepernick. Like, he can make some plays, but he's not very good.
Oh yeah.
He's not worth the money.
I agree.
Remember Tim Tebow?
I don't know. It's just. Oh my god. Well, I was a little bit too young for him. It's real.
Everyone loved him because he was like super Christian and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't the best. Let's just say that.
No, he was awful. I remember I watched one of his games when he played for Denver, and I mean, he was just like missing like open wide receivers, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? And now he doesn't play for the NFL, so that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, the one guy that I always give credit to is what's his name? Ben Roethlisberger. Absolute, like, many people don't like to give him credit, but for a big guy, he wasn't the best runner, but he was pretty good.
Ben Roethlisberger is like I don't want to say Logan Paul, but that's kind of the problem. Is he had he had a lot of stuff going on or outside of football that people didn't like him as a person, and that really like hurt. Yeah, that kind of his career. Like there was a lot of women coming up forward, I guess, like sexual assault claims or something.
Well, that's like the new normal. Look at Mr. Deshaun Watson, or as he likes to be called, Predator Watson.
Predator Watson.
Yeah,
hey, Alex, did you see the Jake Paul and what's his name's fight? Nate Diaz. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. Pretty interesting fight. Good for him.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I don't know. Jake Paul wins.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Uh-huh.
Nate Diaz did try to put him into a submission hold afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some beef there or what? Or is he just joking around?
Yeah, I don't know. Nate Diaz is very... I don't know. Oh, man, Ndamukong Suh. I miss him.
Does he still play?
I don't know.
I remember seeing him last year on somebody's team, I'm pretty sure.
He was on Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Not the Patriots.
Imagine if we still had him with the team we have now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we need him.
We don't, but I'm just saying, like, he was pretty good. I always liked Sue.
He was very... He would cheat a lot.
I know. But hey, if the ref don't see it, it never happened. Ric Flair, baby.
No, because then it would just be like that Jets game all over. We kept getting penalties after penalty.
Yeah. There was a game, I think he was playing for Detroit, and he walked over and stepped on some guy's head. I was like, holy crap. He like stomped on it.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
But he tries to act like he's so innocent. He's like, oh man, that's not what I was doing. It's like, yeah, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just tripped. I just happened to land on his head.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, sure.
Man, this man with Jordan Peterson, man. God, he's a genius.
What are you talking about?
No, he's just a genius, Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
I don't know, I just saw him in my recommended.
Oh, let's see. Most of my recommended is like hot ones, and then I get Jim Cornette, and then it's like music stuff.
You get all that, and I get CNN, President Obama, Osama bin Laden killed.
That sounds old.
It's 12 years ago.
Why are you getting updates like that?
I don't know. Yeah. Let me send you the link. I don't know why he showed up.
This has been CNN.
I hate CNN, man. Oh, God. I hate Fox. I hate CNN. I hate any news.
I just don't like... Alright, so I'm watching this clip with Obama that you sent me. And it's like, even him, Biden, even the Republicans in the past, they all look like they're just reading something. I don't feel like they're ever natural. At least like when Trump was in office, even though you might not like what he says or whatever, I felt like he was at least just shooting from the hip. I feel like these guys are just like reading scripts.
Yeah. And when Trump was speaking, I felt like everything, he had evidence to what he was saying at least. Because if you ask like or Obama like what was happening, it'll be like, this was happening, but totally deflecting the question though.
Yeah.
I felt like with Trump you got a straight answer and he showed you everything.
Yeah. Well, I still think it's interesting that they're saying that he incited the riot, but then they don't ever explain the freaking the tweet that he sent out before the whole thing started, where he told people, like, to go home and stuff. And then Twitter deleted his tweet. He didn't delete it. They did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? So he has proof, like evidence that he said that.
Yeah. We never talked about Twitter being X now.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about that? It's so weird.
It's pretty crazy to me. I like it, though, because it's a new, fresh slate for it.
It's just weird because I see it on WWE, like it will pop up, and I'm like, what is that? Like, I don't know what it is at first, and then I'm like, oh, that's Twitter. Yeah, it takes me a little bit.
I think in a year we'll get used to it.
Yeah, even in my tabs, I have so many tabs, like, open in my windows, and I'll look at the top, and I'm like, I can't find Twitter anywhere. It's, like, right there.
Yeah. And now, I don't know, it's just crazy to me.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Did you see? Oh, well, I think we already talked about this, but the Snow White remake thing.
Oh, yeah. So dumb. I don't know.
Did you see Hornswoggle talking about it?
No, what did he say?
You did not? Oh, this is like one of the most famous clips.
No, what did he say?
So he goes on news sites and he's like, a dwarf actor should play a dwarf role.
Yeah.
Just like how a gay actor should play a gay role.
Right.
And this is, you remember the guy from Game of Thrones? The little tiny guy?
Yeah.
Beard?
Yeah.
Absolutely hate him. He's the one that started all of this. Peter Dinklage, his name is.
Yeah.
Such a horrible guy. Oh my god. He was like, I feel like we should not have these dwarves playing these dwarf roles. I think it's so disrespectful. And it's like, but you're gonna be in the movie, so you're the only dwarf that should be in the movie. You're saying.
Oh my god. My thing is, look.
This is like the only role dwarf roles.
Alex, it's called acting. So, like, if I'm acting, like, it's kind of like Johnny Depp acting like a pirate, and then some guy that thinks he's a pirate, it's like, I'm offended because he's playing a pirate, but he's not a real pirate. What?
Wait. You're saying that Johnny Depp is a pirate?
Saying what?
No, Johnny Depp isn't a pirate?
No, he's not a damn pirate. He might act like one off set, but... No, but you get what I'm saying. Like, the whole point of acting is to play something that you're not, in a sense. Like, you're playing a role.
Yeah.
And people are getting so offended over the dumbest things. It's like, just let it go. If people like it, they'll watch it. If they don't, they won't watch it. They'll boycott it.
Yeah, that's why I play a smart role every time.
But it's like, even like the old flicks, like White Chicks, where the black guys are, they got white face paint on, and, they're acting like they're white girls. And then you got freaking Tropical Thunder with Robert Downey Jr., wearing like black makeup, and he's acting like a black guy. But like back then, it was just funny stuff. Now everyone gets offended by everything. You can't even pull that stuff off, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, even if Dave Chappelle like had a new show or something, like, how many people would be screaming about it because it's so offensive.
Yeah,
really,
but they won't do anything about it.
He pokes fun at everybody equally,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like with Trump. Yeah, he was on SNL with Trump. Have you seen this?
No.
So he's like, what does he say about Trump? He says, like, this man kept talking. This is about the 2016 election or whatever.
Yeah.
Against Hillary. And he says, that debate, a star was born. A debate star was born. Whatever he said. It was so good. And he kept, like, going on.
It's so crazy to me.
He was just making fun of Trump.
It's funny because, like, in 2016, that Trump... 2016. That Trump was so much different than the Trump we got that debated Biden. I felt like he was like fiery. He was like really witty. He was back and forth with Hillary. But then when he went up against Biden, I felt like he was kind of closed off. Like, I don't know. It wasn't the same Trump.
Because he couldn't speak. Because what is it called?
Yeah, there wasn't no real debate.
What's his
Biden
name?
kept having like those closed,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
and then they got the guy that was asking the questions as a liberal or Democrat.
Yeah. They were so biased. I remember like watching some of the debate things, and they're asking him questions, but then they're like arguing with his answers, and I'm like, they would not do that with anybody else.
Yeah, they never did with him. They were saying we made over $4 billion.
$400 billion thousands of dollars.
It's like okay.
Yeah, so I heard like a lot of the things that they're doing with Trump, like they're blasting him on TV and stuff because they don't want people to like really talk about Hunter Biden, I guess, because he's got his own legal troubles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the cocaine. Did you see the cocaine in the White House?
Yeah, I heard about it, which is so stupid. Alex, you have to imagine there's cameras everywhere in that damn place. And where did they find it? You have to assume there's a suspect related to that area. Was it in someone's desk? Like, where the hell was it?
They had it in a certain area. They know which area, too.
And how in the hell can someone walk into the White House with drugs that easily anyway? Unless it's just happening all the time and we just don't know.
Hey, maybe Biden doesn't have dementia and he's just on coke all the time.
I'll be honest, if I was in office, I'd probably be like, all right, we're having a party.
Well, yeah, I would do it too. It's such a hard job.
Actually, Alex, I'd probably go in with the reputation that I already did stuff, so that way when I get in there, no one was surprised. They'd be like, oh, yeah, that's Aaron.
You're like Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer was once what is it called? Political candidate. I don't remember. Governor, senator. I don't remember.
Oh, my God.
Mayor, maybe.
And he's done so many drugs and he sleeps with prostitutes. And... Yeah. Then he got his own show. Oh man! Before we jump around too much, do you hear Pee Wee Herman died?
Go. Dang it! I was about to say that you.
Yeah, it sucks. I didn't realize he had cancer and stuff. Amber had to tell me about it.
Yeah, no one knew until he did like a private battle.
It sucks. It's almost like Val Kilmer, where it's like some of these people that don't talk about it. You have to hear about it through like some project they're going through, or like someone mentions it. But it's like, dang, you just don't know.
I'm saying it that you would like the Val movie or Val show or
the documentary. Yeah, I'll watch it. It looked pretty good.
Well, I'm just it has such a good song too in it. I love it.
I see. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Pixies, I think it was.
What?
No, but there's a song in it. I think it's from the Pixies.
The Pixies.
Yeah, you don't know what that is?
No. I've heard of the Pixies, and I'm sure I would know the song, but I don't know like what they sing and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they sang a good song. I think it's Where's My Mind.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know, it was good. It's a sad documentary.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's
crazy.
like, but you see him like when he was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he's like the freaking he was handsome, he had everything going for him, he was getting married, he had 2 kids, all that great stuff.
Yeah, he was one of the top
he gets older.
Top guys.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of good movies.
You know, so many good movies. And there's no not pop stars, there's no Hollywood stars.
For Val?
No, there's no Hollywood greatness anymore. Like, the last one was probably Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's still around, but I think, I know what you mean.
there's no like great actor anymore. There's just like you're not gonna go to a movie just to watch this guy.
Yeah, it's true. It's so sad.
Yeah.
You don't have like the Richard Geres. You don't have like. There's so many actors like back in the day, like what you're saying. Like they would just be on the marquee and they'd be like, "Oh, that's probably a good movie." Now it's like I feel like actors get shuffled around so much, or they use celebrities to play actors in certain things, like Kim Kardashian and whatnot. And it's like no one wants to see that, and they're usually not that good.
Yeah.
There is a movie coming out. You should look the
think that
trailer
is-
for it. It's called Mobland, and it's got John Travolta in it,
Okay.
and he's like a sheriff or something.
I
It
love
looks-
John Travolta.
Yeah, this movie looks pretty freaking good, man. You should check it out.
Yeah. The only movie that I want to see so far is Oppenheimer, man.
I still have not seen the trailer for it.
I think it looks great. It's made by Christopher Nolan. You know who that is?
Yeah, he made Batman. He made the
Yeah,
Batman movies.
he's a really good director.
Yeah.
He also has a brother that was a serial killer, but
Of course. That all makes
everyone
sense
has
now.
one. I know it kind of broke the mood, but no, he's a good director.
Yeah, he's one of the best for sure. I didn't see
Yeah.
the new
And
movie
I
that
just
he
like
made
his-
though. Tenet or something.
Oh yeah, I heard that was good too.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
But you could definitely tell that he cares.
Yeah.
Whoa, he made Man of Steel? No way. Oh, he was a writer in Man of Steel. Never knew that.
Interesting. I think I saw Man of Steel.
I like that movie. Yeah. He made Inception,
Is that what the one where Kevin Spacey
Interstellar.
is the bad guy?
Let's see. I know Leonardo DiCaprio's in it.
Man of Steel?
No. I thought you were talking about Inception.
No, I was trying to think of which Man of Steel, like what Superman movie that was. I think it's the one with Kevin Spacey and he plays
This is in 2013.
Oh, okay. I think so.
Russell Crowe's in it.
Yeah, I think he
Michael
plays the
Shannon.
dad or something.
No.
Oh, no.
Kevin
he plays the bad
Costner's in
guy.
it.
Whoa, okay. I like Kevin Costner too. He's a pretty good actor.
I never knew that. I like the guy that's in Tombstone. What's his name? Plays Wyatt Earp.
Oh, Kirk Douglas, I think.
I'm so mad that I don't know it. No. Tombstone. What's his name?
Kurt Russell. I think that's it.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
It's exactly it.
And then you got Sam Elliott.
Bill
and
Paxton's
Bill
in it.
Paxton. Yeah. Val Kilmer. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just got so many good people.
And then even like the smaller type guys,
The Johnny
like
Ringo
guys
guy.
that have big roles.
Yeah.
He's very big.
Dude,
Michael
Jason
Biehn.
Priestley's in this. He's pretty good back in the day, too.
Yeah. Thomas Hayden Church, he's pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. There's some big actors in this movie. Billy Bob Thornton's in it.
Look, it even says if you like this, more like this. 310 to Yuma's on there.
Well, yeah. Well,
I'm telling you, watch
there's a lot
it.
of good Western.
Alex,
there's a
they
lot
gave
of
this a 7.8 on IMDb, and they gave 310 to Yuma a 7.7, so it's like right up there with it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Watch it.
Don't expect me to be like, hey.
No, I'm expecting you
If
to be
it
like,
wasn't for
Dad,
Doc
as soon as we
Holliday,
get
though,
off, I'm going to go watch that.
Okay, fine. God.
Like,
No, but what is it called? I just feel like with Tombstone, it's just the fact that Doc Holliday is just such a good character. Every character is good in it.
yeah.
You know,
Did you ever see
it's just they build them up.
Did you ever see Unforgiven?
No.
It's got Clint Eastwood. It's got what the hell is his name?
Oh, hold on.
Morgan
Don't
Freeman.
think of it. Gene Hackman.
No, Morgan Freeman. But man, that's a good movie too. Yeah. Hey, there's a Wyatt Earp movie too. It's not that good though, but it's based off Tombstone, and Kevin Costner plays Wyatt Earp.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it just doesn't have the same feel
like
to
that
it
nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with the Tombstone, it's like a lot of it's like real crap that happened.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of things like you know that scene when they almost done with OK Corral shootout.
Yeah.
And Doc has no guns and whatever, and the guy's like, "I got you now, Doc, you son of a beep." And then it's like, "You are Daisy if you do." That was a real line that Doc said.
Right.
It's reported that he actually said that. It's like it's just such a good story in itself.
I love it a lot too, because like he's like super sick in the movie, and like you can kind of just feel it. Like he's coughing up blood, and you're like, oh man, you just feel bad for him, and the fact that he's still like the best shooter in the West, you know, it's so cool.